Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Hassan, and I'm going to take you through APA 7th edition citation style. Before I start talking about it, please make sure that you subscribe there to support me. Also, you can like my previous video and comment if you found it very useful. Now, APA 7th or APA generally is one of the types of citation styles, because we have others like MLA, we have Chicago, we have Harvard. But in this tutorial, we are going to talk about APA 7th edition citation style. Now, without consuming much time, this tutorial, I have actually broken down this tutorial into 3 parts. So I will be delivering it in parts. So we have part 1, like the one I'm doing right now, it's part 1. Then we'll have part 2, then part 3. And I hope at the end of each of these parts, you will have at least gained so much about APA. Now, in part 1, we are going to see how journal articles are cited in APA. Yeah. So as you can see, we have an example here of a citation. We have a reference here. Now, as you can see, each information in this reference, I have identified the type of information that has been provided there, because that is very, very useful when you want to understand, when you want to actually understand how to cite not just journal articles but also others. So you need to understand the format. So what you need to understand generally in APA, the name of the author in a reference usually takes the form last name of the author, then the other names, you can write the initials. So like here we have Juredi DN, and as you can see, we have an ampersand here. This is important because I'll explain something later. You'll see. Then we have Brahmaya N. Now the next thing is the publication year. This is the year in which this journal article was published. What follows is article title. So this is the title of the article, and the title of this article is Barriers to Effective Communication. Then what follows the article title is the journal title. So the name of the journal from which this journal article falls. So it is under Journal of English Language and Literature. So most journal articles, in fact, journal articles, whether printed or electronic journals, they will always have this part. So they will always have this part here, the journal title. What follows next is volume and issue number. So the first number is volume number. So this one is italicized. Then the issue number is in brackets. After that, we have the page number. So this article has pages between 114 to 115. Now, the last part of this reference is the URL. What you need to understand is that it is advisable to provide DOIs for each for the journal articles, but in situations where you do not find DOIs, you can use URL. You can provide URLs. So this is the general. This is an example of a journal article. So just try and master the format as shown here, and at the end of these, you can follow the link below in the description below, so that you can get this short guide. Yeah, so for your own benefit. Now we have seen how a journal article reference looks like. So the next thing is, how do you in-text? So the other thing is in-text citation, yeah. Now in APA, in-text citation usually takes this format. So you start with the last name of the author, then comma, then year of publication. So this is how you in-text. So we're gonna put them in. Yeah, so that's the general format for in-text citation. Now, yeah, so that's it. So here are the examples. Yeah, we have a direct quotes. So when quoting directly from a source, you need to put that sentence in quotation, then provide page number. That's a must. So as you can see in this example, these names of these two authors are their last names from this source here. So it is Juredi and yeah, Brahmaya. So this is how we in text. Now the sentence can also be written this way: Juredi and Brahmaya, yeah? 2016, page number 114. So you must provide this. Or this sentence can also be written this way: Juredi and, as you can see, this and is in different color because I wanted to tell you something. When you are when you in-text cite at the beginning of the sentence, when you put your citation at the beginning of the sentence, remember you do not include the authors in the parentheses. Yeah, so it will appear like this. When that happens, you don't use the ampersand, but you use and. So you use and in words, but you don't use this. So Juredi and Brahmaya 2016 argue that by the proper decoding of the intellectual procedure, we ourselves gather some barriers in our communication. Page 140. So as you can see, the page number appears in the last part of the sentence. Now here are some points to note. When in-text citation is used at the end of a sentence, all the information is enclosed in a parenthesis. So like here, in our first example, they are all in the parenthesis. For note number 2, when used at the beginning, only the publication is in the parenthesis and the page number in case of direct quotes. So this is in parenthesis, and in case of direct quotes, as you can see, it's also in the parenthesis, but the page number appears at the end. Then the last thing is, do not use the ampersand and when the author is not included in the parentheses. So like in this case, when they are not in the parentheses, do not use this and. Instead use the word and. Now I want us now to look at in-text citation in paraphrase sentences. So you know what paraphrasing is. Paraphrasing is just reading information from a source, then writing it in your own words. That's what paraphrasing is. So when you paraphrase an information from a source, then how do you in-text cite? Now this is the general rule: use the same in-text citation format, but do not include page numbers. So for example, the symbolic interactionist perspective holds that people in an ideal community use symbols, nouns, and dialects to correspond with others. Smith 2017. So in this case, I have not used the page number. So what you need to understand is that page numbers you include when you use direct quotes. Also, another thing before I forget, you please note that sometimes a reference or a source can have 3 or more authors. So in such a situation, when three or more authors write the name of one author, yeah, followed by et al, then year of publication. So for example, you can say Smith et al 28. This means that it's Smith et al means there are other authors. Then you should put a full stop, then comma, then 2018, or the year of publication. So yeah, so that's it. It's a rule in APA. When three or more authors, you write the name of only one author, then followed by et al, full stop, then year of publication. So I think that's it. Now another thing, guys, I want to show you how to organize your references, yeah, in APA. So so as you can see, I have only one reference here. Now I want to add some other reference from Google Scholar. But then you can use Google Scholar. You can use Google Scholar to also find articles and to find articles, books. So also Google Scholar is a one resource, a very useful resource. So I can type anything here, maybe language barriers, then I search. These are all articles, so I can cite from here when I click on that. So this is APA, so I copy paste it into my so I want to show you how to organize your reference your reference page. So maybe let me take another one, maybe assuming I also used that one, that source, yeah. JRN, and let's assume that these articles, they come first, yeah. Maybe they're the first articles that I researched or that I used before that. Also, this is how maybe it's organized, yeah. Now your two things you need to note is that first, first, your paper should be, your references should match the format of your paper, the formatting of your paper. So if it's Times New Romans, make sure it's Times, also the reference is Times New Romans. If it's font 12, make sure it's font 12. If it's double spaced, make sure it's double spaced. Then you can remove extra spaces. Now this is my reference list. So as you can see, the first reference list, the first reference starts with R, then W, then J. In APA, you need to organize these references alphabetically or in an ascending order. So what you do, you highlight the references, then click on this sort command here, then make sure it's paragraph, type text, then make sure here it's ascending, then click. Now they are organized, yeah. You see J, R, W, yeah. Now another thing, you also need to indent this the lines which are below the first lines, yeah. So how do you do that? So you highlight, make sure you have a ruler here. If you don't have a ruler, you can go to view, then click ruler. Now you can see my ruler here, yeah. Now click highlight your references, then click and hold this ruler. Actually, this ruler is for adjusting the margins, yeah. So if you click from below, you see the whole reference moves. So if you hold from top and drag, you see the top line of each reference moves. So it means then the only option that we have is clicking the middle here at the center, then dragging to 0.5 margin from left. So as you can see, I've indented the second line. So that's it. So that's the formatting of the references here. You need to make sure that you indent. And this is specifically when you are doing an APA written paper or written assignment, which you're supposed to submit as a document. So you need to meet all these requirements of APA. Yeah, so make sure it's organized alphabetically or in an ascending order, and make sure the lines are the lines below the first lines are indented for each reference. So I hope you find this useful, and if you like the video, you can share, you can give thumbs up, and you can also subscribe for more videos. Yeah, so until next time guys, see you in part 2. Goodbye.